So Turkey, the Czech Republic, the Netherlands, Spain. These are the squads in this first heat of 3. Ghana and Ukraine. The men's 4x100 meters relay. Even less time for these big, fast fellas to get things right, and ample time in which to get things wrong, as we see so often in major championships when the pressure is on. With no pressure, the delicacy and precision required to hand over that baton when moving at over 20 mph is very, very high indeed, the demands. But in a championship situation with teams around you, bodies battling away on either side of you, crowds roaring, lights flashing, it can be very, very difficult indeed. Now there is a special athlete for Turkey, Ramil Guliev, former world champion at 200 meters. He's a sub-10 second performer at 100 as well. And he's on the final leg for Turkey. They have got the inside lane, which is lane 3 in this particular race. 6 teams go in this one, by the way. Turkey, the Czech Republic, the Netherlands, Spain, Ghana and Ukraine. And they're ranked 15th in the world at the moment, Turkey, so just inside the qualifying grouping of 16, but they would love to embed themselves more deeply into that top 16 teams. The Netherlands going in lane 5. We'll have seen their women's quartet qualify very impressively indeed. They are 8th from the World Championships back in 2019. You just had to make the final in Doha. Even if you were disqualified or failed to finish, you still received that ranking to qualify you, guarantee a spot in Tokyo. Those little strips being put down on the track. It's what the outgoing runner will be watching, and when his incoming runner reaches that strip, then he will start his acceleration. So they watch that mark when their teammate reaches it, coming at them at, as I say, over 20 mph, then they head off. Hand flipped out backwards. And whether it's the upstroke or the downstroke in the exchange of the baton, then you hope it goes smoothly. Well, the Czech Republic have Jiří Polák on the second leg from them. Their lead-off athlete will be Zdeněk Stromzik. Jan Jurka on the third leg for them. Around that second bend, and he'll hand over to the very experienced Jan Veleba on the anchor leg. Jen, you're running plenty of 4x400s, but are you familiar with the pressures of 4x100?
I am familiar, but only at club level, and that was enough for me, Tim. Yeah, you've got plenty more time to have a visual change at club level, but the speeds that these guys are going, you don't want that visual. We saw, obviously, the Italians already. You know, you don't want to actually have to take a look. You don't want the baton to slow down. It's not about, like we say, the speed of the athletes, it's the speed of the baton during this 400-meter lap.
So Ukraine on the outside, they haven't qualified for Tokyo. They're in 21st place. Kostritsa, their lead-off athlete. Ghana in lane 7. They are in 12th place, so have 1 foot on the plane to Tokyo. Safo Antwi, Sean Safo Antwi, very experienced, goes on the lead-off for them. Spain go in lane 6. Jose Gonzalez will hand over to Retamal, then Gomez and Lopez on the 3rd and 4th legs. Ranked 30th though, Spain. They need a wonderful run these next 2 days. They've got to make the final if they want to go to Tokyo. The Netherlands in lane 5. Van Gool, Burnett, Garia and Chirandi Martina on the final leg from them. One of the senior statesmen of the Dutch squad, but a fabulous sprinter, a sub-10 second man at 100, of course, good at 200 as well. The Czech Republic, well, they haven't qualified for Tokyo, but very nearly have a foot on the plane, so to speak. They're 17th ranked. Zdeněk Stromzik, their lead-off athlete. And Emre Zafer Barnes, the lead-off man for Turkey. He'll hand over to Jack Ali Harvey, Ertan Özkan and Guliev, Ramil Guliev on the final leg for them. You feel with an athlete of Guliev's caliber, just stay there, give him a fighting chance, get that baton to him smoothly, and he can really hunt people down on that home straight run. But so little room for error when you've got about 10 seconds of running to do. They can't work miracles, these fellas. You've got to get the baton round smoothly. Turkey in 3, Czech Republic 4, Netherlands 5, Spain in 6, Ghana 7, and Ukraine in lane 8. First 2 go through by right again. That's the qualifying conditions in all these relay qualifying races through today. Not a bad change over there for Turkey, quite safe. Oh, and one athlete has gone down there, and I think it's the Czechs who've had a disaster, I'm afraid. Who's in the lead here? Ghana going well, also going pretty well. The Ukraine on the outside. Look to at the Netherlands. The Netherlands in 5, and that orange strip looking strong. Surely they lead at the moment, and they've got so much experience on this final leg in the figure of Trandi Martina. Ghana are battling away here, though. Huanda, Joseph Paul Anda, coming through. Does he get it on the dip? It's very tight indeed. Ukraine in 3rd place on the outside. It might have been the Netherlands who just hung on. It doesn't really matter. It was very, very tight indeed. But they look like, on paper at least, 2 teams that get through without any trouble, barring judges spotting any indiscretions. The Netherlands and Ghana. 38.79 for the Netherlands. And it's the 3rd place time, of course, that is critical. Ghana 38.79 as well. They lose by 8/1000ths of a second. That was the winning margin for the Netherlands over Ghana. 38.782 for the Netherlands, 38.790 for Ghana.
Well, it was fast and furious, wasn't it? And I was actually watching on the back straight that second changeover from the Netherlands team, 2 to 3. It was tight. Really tight, but it's come up as an official result, 38.79, and it was close all the way to the line as well, wasn't it? Just 8/1000ths of a second, as you say. So here we go. This
Turkey
is
on the inside we're watching here, Jenny, at the bottom.
Oh, you just see.
Turkey were okay. It was the Czech baton, I think, that hit the deck.
Yeah, it was, and yeah, we're just looking here, you know, we talked about the Turkish athlete, you know, Guliev. He just had too much running to do, but the Ghanaian team came all the way back to the Netherlands team, and as we say, it was just thousandths that split them in the end, but both of those teams secures their position in that final tomorrow.
Yeah, you can see Guliev there, resigned to jogging across the line virtually. He knew it was a hopeless chase, unfortunately. What a shame for the Czech Republic, Jan Veleba. Indeed, the 3rd leg man, Jan Jurka, never getting a sniff of the baton when it was dropped between legs 1 and 2. And you have to accept these little knocks philosophically as a relay athlete. They happen. You can't be screaming at teammates. You have to hang together as a team. There it is, a win for the Netherlands, 38.79 by 8/1000ths of a second. They took the win in the first of 3 heats in the men's 4x100 metres relay over Ghana. Ukraine 39.06. We'll see if that is good enough to get them through. Spain and Turkey bringing up the rear. So Germany lead out the athletes and the teams for this second heat. Zimbabwe, they haven't qualified for Tokyo. Germany have unofficially with a 12th ranked position. Poland at 28th, can you believe? You'd think they'd be a little bit higher. Denmark, they're down in 40th in the world rankings. A lot of work to do to them. Brazil, well, they were 4th in the World Championships in 2019. They are certainly going to be in Tokyo, as indeed surely are that Japanese quartet, because they are the bronze medalists from Doha 2019. And a totally different quartet it is, though, for Japan to those who took the bronze at the World Championships. We'll see how they go. It doesn't really matter, I suppose, because they have their spot.
Yeah, and it gives a lot of people an opportunity, doesn't it? It's not just the 4 that obviously compete in that final. It takes around about 8 competitors to be part of that squad. And sometimes you just have to accept you don't get a run. Sometimes you're used in a heat and another athlete will be brought in for that final. But whoever does fill those Japanese spots, they're guaranteed a position, as you say, Tim.
Well, Brazil won the last edition of these relays, with Rodrigo do Nascimento leading off their quartet on that occasion. Indeed, 3 out of the 4 who took 4th at the World Championships in 2019 are in this Brazilian quartet. They have really very much got their A squad out. Camilo there for that Brazilian squad. Poland, well, they go in lane 5, and Kopek on the second leg for them, marching out, measuring out his tape positions.
You wouldn't want to lose concentration, would you, when you're measuring out those tape positions? It's interesting how they all just use how many feet in shoes. I guess it's easier than actually getting a tape measure out.
What it is, yeah, and if there's a little bit of bend involved...
Yeah, more technical, isn't it?
It's so straightforward and quick. Not high-tech, but effective.
No, and it's what you learn at school and it's what you learn at club athletics. And if any young athletes are watching this, you know, the pros do it exactly the same way.
Sadly, I think not enough schools are really showing youngsters these days, in the UK, certainly, where you and I are from, Jenny, where to put the tape down in a sprint relay. But most of them, I think, have never owned a pair of spikes. And we hope that will change in years to come. So that tape going down, you're being put down. When the incoming runner reaches that, that's when the outgoing runner begins their acceleration from the crouch position. Denmark, well, they're in lane 6, good lane draw, but they're in 40th place. They really are with an outside chance of qualifying for Tokyo. Kamanga Dirbak is on the second leg for them, and take the baton from the lead-off runner Simon Hansen. So let's take a look at each of these squads. Japan, very, very well-drilled quartet. They are so much better as a sum of all their parts than as individuals. Ryuki Sakai, their lead-off man. Rodrigo do Nascimento for Brazil, they too. 4th at the World Championships in 2019. Quite a little rematch this, really, with the 3rd and 4th places in lines 8 and 7, respectively, from the last World Championships. Denmark, Simon Hansen, their lead-off man. Kamanga Dirbak, Musa and Shao Nielsen, their quartet. Poland. I always feel that the Poles are great relay racers, but actually they're 400-meter runners who do the great relay racing, isn't it? They don't quite meet the best standards in the sprint relays. Zimbabwe go in lane 4. Kamungaremu. Dixon, Kamungaremu, their lead-off man, will hand over to Jarambo, Dulovu and Makusha. And then Germany. Well, Julian Reus, he plenty of experience. Joshua Hartmann, Dennis Almaz, and Marvin Schulte on the anchor leg for the Germans. We've seen drop batons, we've seen disqualifications because of lane infringements in the heats so far from the women and the men. Let's hope this goes smoothly. Second of 3 heats in the men's 4x100 meters relay. Brazil in lane 7, causing quite an upset a couple of years ago when they beat the USA into 2nd place. Well, away they go. These are amongst the longest holes in the under the starters' orders that I've ever known, but they get away smoothly, and I don't think we've had a full start yet, so it's going well. Now, I didn't see anything go wrong there. Japan on the outside moving well. The World Championship bronze medalist quartet with the fourth places inside them. The big guns on the outside in 7 and 8. Brazil in the green. Japan under a little bit of pressure here. Brazil have them in their sights in the green there, left of picture. Going well in lane 3 is Germany as well. They're in third place surely at the moment. Not a bad change over there from Denmark. Down the home straight it is Brazil, though, have eased right away from the Japanese. Brazil and Germany in second place. Great run that from the Germans. Not quite sure what happened to the Japanese. Was that a bad last changeover for the Japanese, because they were right up alongside the Brazilians, and then halfway down the home straight they were 5 meters down.
Tim, I was watching all the action behind, and I was looking at the Danish squad, and I thought, you know, in 40th position, whether they could do what the Ecuadorian women did and get through, but they had a great run, certainly much better than they were supposed to be placed. Brazil it was, 38-44 from the German quartet, 38-70. Them two will progress to the final. And here's the rest of the results. Japan, 38-98. Denmark, 39-06.
Yes, the Danes, I thought they ran well, setting a national record there, 39.06. They've taken almost half a second off their national record, that Danish squad. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. In fact, just checking, they have taken more than half a second off. That's a Danish time, 39.06. Their previous national record was 39.61. Wow.
You just know sometimes, you know, I was actually watching the Danish runner, the third leg runner, as he actually handed the baton over, and very like Daphne Skippers, he was celebrating, he was putting his fist in the air, he knew they were going well, and amazing to see another national record.
Isn't it just? Yeah, the Japanese, dreadful changeover there, and the Brazilians, well, were handed 3 meters on the plate, and the Germans with a good changeover, storming down the home straight. Lovely final leg there from Marvin Schulte. Germans 38.70, producing the second fastest time of the day, actually quicker than the Netherlands, the winner of the first heat. And Brazil, well, by 2 or 3 meters, the quickest of all of them so far, 38.44. Japan, well, they are the fastest of the non-automatic qualifiers so far with 38.98, coming third in that one, and then fourth in that one. Denmark are also in a hot seat at the moment, with one finger on a place, one hand on a place in the final. Ukraine will definitely not make it. They unfortunately are 7th fastest so far with 39.06, with 1 heat to come.
Well, I wouldn't mind being picked up by the mascots, would you? That's one way to celebrate a national record.
I think they struggle to pick me up these days, Jenny. The amount of running I'm getting done out here. There it is, Brazil winning from Germany. Japan in third, a national record for Denmark. Fabulous stuff from the Danes in 4th place. That surely deserves a place in the final, but there are more teams to come in this third heat. 6 teams to come in heat 3 who will be trying to ease into tomorrow's final. Italy, first out. They are in lane 3. Belarus, Botswana, Portugal, South Africa, and last but not least, the French squad, who I think came out a bit early, did they? Were they second out?
They were eager. They wanted to get their marks in place.
We'll count down to the first final there. Just over 13 minutes until that mixed race, the 2 times 2 by 400 meters. Just 2 athletes per team in that one. And their recovery after running a 400 is just the length of their teammates' run following run. Fascinating. Some people have called it a glorified training session, but it will be very, very interesting to see it unfold here. So, teams we know through so far, just to reiterate that for you. Brazil, Germany, Netherlands, Ghana, Japan, Denmark are the 6th fastest. But Brazil, Germany, Netherlands and Ghana definitely through by dint of being in the first two in their heats. Fittingly, they are the four fastest teams. Japan's 38.98 wouldn't have got them a qualifying spot in the heat that they didn't compete in so far. Heat 1. South Africa, well, they were 5th in the World Championships in Doha. They have very much qualified for the Olympic Games. 3 of the 4 from that World Championship team are here. Legs 1, 3 and 4 are all the same. Only leg 2, that's Teodliso Gift Letlela. He is the new man in that South African quartet. They go in lane 7, will be chasing France outside them. Portugal are in lane 6. Pazerez is in on the lead-off leg. And the French, well, their lead-off man, Amaury Golotin, looks like he's running in the full bodysuit. I don't blame him. It's a chilly evening. I really thought when we landed here on Thursday, stepping off the plane late at night, it was pleasantly mild, and then yesterday it was glorious, warm, sunny all day. The athletes loved their time out in the sun here on the track here, going through the motions and enjoying the empty stadium. Well, tonight it's an empty stadium, but the temperature could hardly be more different. Third and final heat of the men's 4x100 meters coming up, with the first final of this first day just a few minutes away. Well, the French quartet, Amaury Golotin will be their lead-off man. He'll hand over to Marvin René, Meba Michael Zeze and Muhammadu Fall on the final leg for them. The South Africans with that strong squad: Thando Dlodlo, Leotlela Muniai and Akane Simbine on the final leg for them. And what form he has been in recently. Under 10 seconds for 100 in the Southern Hemisphere season, the South African season. Portugal, Prazeres, Antunes, Cavelo and Santos. 24th ranked, the Portuguese. They need a fabulous run here tonight and tomorrow. Botswana, well, Manewa, Tebogo, Mothibi and Masasa. They're in 5. Then the Belarus team: Bliznets, Darahukapets, Pustabayu and Zabalotny, excuse me, on the final leg. Yuri Zabalotny. They are ranked 48th, the Belarusian squad. They really are outsiders for a likely Tokyo promotion, so to speak. And Italy on the inside are 10th ranked, Jenny. They are a good squad, the Italians, and I suspect will go well here.
Yeah, great leg runner on the last leg. Filipino Tartu. Let's see what he can do. Let's see if the batting gets to him first and foremost.
Well, the Italians failed to finish 2 years ago in Yokohama. Let's hope this qualifying heat goes well for them. They're on the inside. Belarus in 2nd, Botswana 3rd, in lane 5 rather. Portugal in 6, South Africa 7, and France in lane 8. Good running from Botswana in the light blue, 3rd from left at the moment in lane 5. Not a bad change-up from Botswana either. They're well up on Portugal at the moment. Going well on the inside of the Italians. This second leg for them is Jacobs. And that's a good change-up from the Italians. Again, they're in the blue to right of picture. Moving through well ahead of Botswana. The South Africans looking pretty strong too, second to left with France outside them. But the Italians have had a really crisp race with some nice changeovers. Now the South Africans, Simbine down the home straight. Can he get there? No, he can't. Can't close down on the Italians, who take the win from South Africa. Big gap back to the French there. The French final leg athlete, Muhammadu Fall, throws the baton down in frustration in third place, but it was 4 or 5 meters down on the South Africans. And from the Italians, that was a brilliant, brilliant run.
Yeah, the Italians were on the inside, weren't they? And I guess they had the benefit of being able to see all the other teams outside them. 38.44 seconds from 38.49 for South Africa. Oh, well, how close is this going to be to take that position for the final on the next fastest times? France 39.07. Now I'm pretty sure we had a 39.06 from the Danish squad. Yes, that's right, that was the national record. And I'm just looking back, the Ukrainian squad also recorded 39.06 in the first round. And Japan were 38.98. So we can say that the Japanese are definitely going to take that position in the final. And then who is it going to be between the Ukraine and the Danish, with, unfortunately, France missing out on that final just by 1/100th of a second. Well,
it's almost as though Fall, the final leg athlete for France, knew that that was going to befall him and his teammates, missing out on a place by 1/100th of a second. That's almost literally the thickness of a vest. Great running there, though, from Italy, 38.44. And that's from Italy, the fastest of all of them. Better than Brazil, better than South Africa.
I think it all came down to the changeovers. They were really slick. They lost no time at all with that baton. And Tortu, we were looking forward to that last leg, weren't we? We're looking forward to actually seeing the last two competitors, the Italian athlete Tortu and Simbini from South Africa. And come that final, when they're going all the way to the line, it's going to be a tight one.
Well, that's the second fastest time in the world this year from the Italians. 38.44. Only a Chinese squad on the 20th of March went quicker, but it's better than the Canadians, who've run 38.49 back in fact, last weekend, 24th of April, and any other squads. So no wonder the Italians are celebrating. It's not a national record. Their national record is 38.11, about 3 meters quicker, but 38.44 is crisp 4x100 meter running.
Yeah, it certainly is. The beginning of May on a cold evening, that bodes really well. A couple of months' time in Tokyo, in nicer weather, more practice under the belts, those technical skills, as well as honing in their individual skills, of course. Yeah, they should be delighted.